What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is Mr. Hectic Shots here, and the patch 1.04 just went live on the PS3 last night. And I was reading the patch notes, and I was thinking to myself, wow, this is the death of Call of Duty. So, no, I'm just kidding. It is a kind of controversial patch, so I'm going to be going through most of the relevant patch notes with you, and just quick talk on the video. This is headquarters on Nuketown 2025. I chose it because it was the first game I played with the SMR, so I wanted to record it just to see what would happen, and also because, you know, it's a long video. I think I went like 50 something and 30 something. It wasn't a great KD game, it's just a long game. It's headquarters, so those games tend to drag out. So as far as the patch goes, as far as new features and feature improvements, improved audio / rumble responsiveness when hitting enemies with gunfire, so that's like controller stuff. Not too much big stuff here. After action replay, better communication, how much EXP was earned in the match, or XP technically. They improved the security system. They added hardcore kill confirmed to the hardcore category, so that's cool. As far as the issues they addressed, they fixed some problems with loading the maps. Another sort of important fix was that the game now resets a care package for a non-owner if the owner re-rolls the package with engineer, and that's kind of confusing. So what that means is basically, beforehand, if I had a care package that was mine, I re-rolled it with engineer, you wouldn't be able to see that I had re-rolled it. You would still get the old reward from it, so that's fixed now. In that video I made earlier about the care package glitch, I guess it happened with the Black Hat PDA, so they fixed that. You can no longer hack a care package faster than the owner can take it. And they addressed an exploit where modified console hackers could spread infected films. So basically that's a sort of problem that came along with the guys that made the Prestige video. There were people who were doing it in reverse, videos that would make it so that your level would go down, and don't get me wrong, they're both bad, so it's good that they fixed that. They added a failsafe to prevent spawn trapping and capture the flag. Basically, that's self-explanatory. That's good. They did some work with the auto turrets, like the sentry gun, because personally I think that thing was really overpowered. I haven't seen it since the patch went live. I recorded this as soon as I saw the patch. This is pre-patch gameplay, by the way. Sorry if I didn't mention that. So there were also, I guess, a couple problems happening where equipment would look like it was enemy equipment when it was really friendly, or friendly when it was enemy. So I haven't really heard anything about that, but it's good that they fixed that. They've improved theater mode and live streaming stability, which is nice. Good to see theater mode back up and working. As far as rendering the theater mode videos, I guess they made it so that the rendering bar was more accurate, so I guess it would say like, hey, this is 95% done, when it really wasn't, so that's a good thing to fix as well. There were issues with some master challenges not being able to complete them. A couple more fixes as far as challenges go. Yeah. Players will no longer be able to manually take control of their AGR if they die at the exact moment that their AGR deploys. I'm not sure what problems with that were, I guess. I don't know. But, like, it's good to fix things that aren't working properly. The emblem... I can't talk today, I'm sorry. The emblem editor no longer closes the current emblem when discarding changes. So, that's good. Now, this one is interesting. Players using Ghost will no longer be invisible at all times in custom games. So, I don't know. With the minimap option set to constant. So, I'm not really sure what they were doing there. I mean, it was custom games, so it doesn't really matter too much in my opinion. But I'm still interested to know what was going on there. So, I'll look into that. Players using Ghost and a suppressor attachment will no longer appear on the enemy's minimap while shooting and moving while the UAV is up. And that's strange, because I think that's how it's supposed to work, and I haven't really noticed that it hasn't been working correctly, so you never know. I don't know. The KD graph on the after action replay, I don't know if anyone has noticed, the median, meaning the it was set to 0 instead of 1. So even if you got a negative game, it would still, the graph would record it as positive. So they fixed that. You can no longer get on top of the shrubs on Nuketown. I haven't noticed any of that. Fixed some thermal vision glitches. They made it so that explosive kills from the crossbow actually count towards challenges, which is good because before it would have to be the stick would have to kill them in order to get challenges in certain situations. Clan tag is no longer locked after prestige, which is good. Counter UAV no longer remains for the rest of the game after a host migration. I haven't had that problem yet, or I haven't had that problem, so I guess I'm good to go on that. That's good. EMP grenades no longer affect the COD caster HUD, so that's good. Fixed a glitch on Express where K9 unit dogs would get stuck. Just fixed some visual stuff, shadows and sniper scopes. Drop shot medal is no longer awarded after standing back up. I don't drop shot, so not too big of an issue for me. Players can now copy a custom class to the extra prestige shot, which is good because you used to not be able to do that. And here's the big things, the gameplay balances. The UAV has increased from 350 points to 425, so you now need 4 kills and an assist, potentially, and 3 kills and assist. So the lightning strike, they've added a delay to it, which is nice because that thing was ridiculous. The delay is 3/4 of a second, which is a lot longer than you'd think in a game like Call of Duty, so that's helpful. The bouncing Betty, I think they pretty much made obsolete. They increased the distance between the trigger and the activation by 0.2 seconds. So, and with lightweight sprinting with a submachine gun, you were almost out of range when it went off. So those extra 0.2 seconds, I think, are going to make it really difficult to get kills with bouncing betties, which is interesting because you can avoid bouncing betties just by going prone or crouching to begin with. The sensor grenade, they increased the range, the frequency of the pings, so how often it would display, and the amount of times that players appear after the explosion. They nerfed concussion grenades, so you can turn faster and move a little faster after they go off, because I think those things lasted a little too long, just in my opinion. Now, here's the big thing. Submachine guns. All of them have increased recoil. All of them have increased hipfire recoil. The hipfire spread has been increased from 4.75 to 5. Doesn't sound as bad as it is. It's a pretty significant change. All of them have reduced bullet penetration. The MSMC, which has become quite popular, has increased recoil. The same with the PDW-57, increased recoil on that too. So it's interesting to see if people will continue to use them, or if they'll maybe resort back to like the MP7 or the Scorpion. The Scorpion already had really high recoil, so I don't know what people are going to do about that. The assault rifles, all of them have reduced idle sway for more reliable long-range aiming, which is nice because the sway on assault rifles has been it's been different from between each game. So I mean, some of them have had assault rifle sway, some of them hasn't, so it's good that they've reduced that because I thought it was kind of high. The XM8, which used to be the M8A1, it still might be the M8A1, I don't know. The patch notes say XM8, so I'm using that. They reduced the lethal kill range of 3-hit kills from 250 to 50 inches, so that fires in 4-round bursts, so I'm not sure how big of a deal that is. The M8A1/XM8 select fire, they increased the recoil. The FAL with select fire increased recoil. The SWAT 5.56, they also increased recoil, and it's weird because I haven't really seen anyone using that gun. And the MTAR, they made auto aim values consistent with all other assault rifles. So I don't know, maybe that gun was a little bit worse than the rest of them, which explains why it was so bad. Sniper rifles. The hipfire spread increased on all of them. Sniper rifle with a laser sight increased hipfire spread. That doesn't mean the hipfire spread when using a laser sight increases more than without it. It just means that they've increased both values. So And then the XPR-50, which is the last one you unlock. It's basically a semi-auto ballista. They increased the recoil slightly, which I think is good because that thing didn't really have a lot of recoil. So you could fire off shots at the same spot almost instantaneously. Shotguns, big one here. The Remington 870, reduced one-hit kill range by 45 inches. That doesn't sound like a lot, but shotgun range overall is probably only around 30 to 45 feet. So taking 3 feet off of the one-hit kill range will affect enough of your kills, but not too many, but you'll see a difference definitely. The pistols, the Cap 40 reduced the headshot multiplier. The pistol I'm using right there is the Cap 40 from 1.4 to 1, so that was really high, so I think that's good. They decreased the same for the B23R from 1.4 to 1, which I think is good because 1.4 is awfully high for a pistol. So that's it for patch notes. Let me tell you what I think. As far as the submachine guns go, I think this is going to be really interesting because I know a lot of people that play Call of Duty don't read the patch notes, so it's going to be interesting to know if people that haven't read the patch notes actually notice a difference. So, like with the MSMC, a lot of people use that, so I'm interested to know what people think about that. A lot of people use the PDW, not as many as before when the game first came out because it was a low-level gun. A lot of people were getting it. You could kind of compare it to the FAMAS of Black Ops 1, where everyone used it for the first couple weeks because it was a low-level gun that performed well. So, and then people gradually started to branch off and use quote-unquote better guns, different guns, basically. So, slight recoil increase. That is kind of fishy sounding. I don't really know how to. I mean, you could test it pretty easily if you had video from before the patch, but I don't know. It's gonna be interesting because I'm pretty sure people will use guns regardless of the slight increase in recoil. Maybe people will just start using the grip more because with the MSMC and the PDW, you really didn't need the grip. So what I think is going to happen is I think people are just going to start using the grip or just become more used to the recoil, because slight recoil increase doesn't really feel like a game changer for me. The hip fire spread in recoil, that is I think that's going to be more prominent. So I think people are going to have to aim down the sights a lot more when they use their submachine guns, because if you had a laser sight on, you could kind of just turn the corner and spray like no tomorrow. So nice quad there with the lightning strike. So I think you just gotta. I think you should continue playing the game how you play it, and like this guy here gets a shotgun kill from pretty far away. That might be different. So I think you should just play the way you've been playing. As far as the MSMC and the PDW go, your game will have to change a little bit. I think throw on a grip, see what happens. I think it'll behave just like right before the patch. So as far as select fire on the semi-automatic rifles, I've unlocked it on a few of them. I would not use it simply because all select fire does is makes it so that the maximum speed at which you can pull the trigger, or close enough to it, and it'll just do that automatically. So you can kind of compare it to the ray gun in Zombies, in that it is semi-automatic, but it doesn't. It's fully automatic, but it doesn't shoot very fast. So, and you can potentially shoot with the ray gun faster, semi-automatically, than with the automatic function. So I think that'll be interesting. Not a lot of people use it anyway. So the M8 A1 isn't that popular of a weapon. I haven't seen too many people using it. The MTAR, as far as the auto aim values being more consistent with other assault rifles, I think that might make it a little more useful for newer players, because you know the MTAR is the first gun that you get as a new guy. In your new prestige, it's the first one you get. So I think it'll become C4. It'll become a more consistent piece of equipment for people to use. So those are my thoughts on the patch. Hope you liked the video. I'll put a link to the official patch notes in the description, and I'll see you guys next time. So I'll leave you with this final kill cam, and 55-31. Have a nice day.